Y'all can see I got a screen up here I haven't used before, but I'm going to try to use. Move that down a little bit. But as I record John chapter 18, I'm practicing with my Acid Pro program. I got different instruments on here and all that, and I use these to create little intros and outros. From my videos, 99% of what you hear me playing in the background is stuff I've generated off of this and a keyboard I got, and I do some strumming on the guitar, but I'm no guitar player. And then I have my own Tama kit that me and the kids play on, the grandkids. But here's an example. Here's a sonar drum. I like this tom right here. Hear that? I like the sonars, but I got different brands, Slingerland, and that's an idea of I could get the cymbals. Here's cymbals, acoustic, 19-inch crash, 17, 16. Different sounds. I didn't up there. I can record me. I can bring them up here at multiple tracks. I'd create a rhythm or put. I think I've got it set at default 16th note swing right now, but do the 4/4 and the speed here. I got it set at 120 beats per minute, but your tempo on the song is different. That's where it was at when I left it last time. I don't remember what I was creating. But anyway, the idea behind this is to concentrate on uh, the book of John. That's not saying we can't have our own little hobbies and, this creating little music uh, beats and little songs. That's my hobby. The reading the book, the Bible, and studying the Bible and all that. That's serious stuff. We need to take it seriously. But I've got some ideas for later on, and I want to practice working on this, putting in audio files of reading different books of the Bible. Not necessarily on a YouTube video. I'll have them on audio files. But if y'all will bear with me, what I'm going to do is read John chapter 18 and record it on this if I can. It's going to record on the program I use, a video program of Microsoft. I use a Clipchamp. It'll record on that, I know, but I want to see if it'll record on this Acid program too at the same time or simultaneously. But here we go, beginning in verse 1. Let me get up here so I can move my mouse when I need to. When Jesus had spoken these words, he went out with his disciples over the brook Kidron, where there was a garden which he and his disciples entered. And Judas, who betrayed him, also knew the place, for Jesus often met there with his disciples. Then Judas, having received a detachment of troops and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. Jesus, therefore, knowing all things that would come upon him, went forward and said to them, "Whom are you seeking?" They answered him, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus said to them, "I am he." And Judas, who betrayed him, also stood with them. Now when he said to them, "I am he," they drew back and fell to the ground. Then he asked them again, "Whom are you seeking?" And they said, "Jesus of Nazareth." Jesus answered, "I have told you that I am he. Therefore, if you seek me, let these go their way. If you seek me, let these go their way." that the saying might be fulfilled which he spoke of those whom he gave, whom you gave me, I have lost none. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. So Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword into the sheath. Shall I not drink the cup which my Father has given me?" Then the detachment of troops and the captain and the officers of the Jews arrested Jesus and bound him. And they led him away to Annas first, for he was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, who was high priest that year. Now it was Caiaphas who advised the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. Now that the disciple was known to the high priest, and went with Jesus into the courtyard of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door outside. Then the other disciples, who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to her who kept the door and brought Peter in. Then the servant girl who kept the door said to Peter, "You are not also one of the man's disciples, are you?" He said, "I am not." Now the servants and officers who had made a fire of coals and stood there, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus about his disciples and his doctrine. Jesus answered him, "I spoke openly to the world. I always taught in synagogues and in the temple, where the Jews always meet, and in secret I have said nothing. Why do you ask me? Ask those who have heard me what I said to them. Indeed, they know what I said." And when he had said these things, one of the officers stood by, struck Jesus with the palm of his hand, saying, "Do you answer the high priest like that?" Jesus answered him, "If I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil. But if well, why do you strike me?" Then Annas sent him bound to Caiaphas the high priest. Now Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. Therefore they said to him, "You are not also one of the disciples, are you?" He denied it and said, "I am not." One of the servants of the high priest, a relative of him, whose ear Peter cut off, said, "Did I not see you in the garden with him?" Peter then denied again, and immediately a rooster crowed. Then they led Jesus from Caiaphas to the praetorium, and it was early morning. But they themselves did not go into the praetorium, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. Pilate then went out to them and said, "What accusation do you bring against this man?" They answered and said to him, "If he were not an evildoer, we would not have delivered him to you." Then Pilate said to them, "You take him and judge him according to your law." Therefore the Jews said to them, "It is not lawful for us to put anyone to death," that the saying of Jesus might be fulfilled, which he spoke, signifying by what death he would die. Then Pilate entered the praetorium again, called Jesus, and said to him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered him, "Are you speaking for yourself about this, or did others tell you concerning me?" Pilate answered, "Am I a Jew? Your own nation and chief priests have delivered you to me. What have you done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would fight, so that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now my kingdom is not from here." Pilate therefore said to him, "Are you a king then?" Jesus answered, "You say rightly that I am a king. For this cause I was born, and for this cause I have come into the world, that I should bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth hears my voice." Pilate said to him, "What is truth?" And when he had said this, he went out again to the Jews and said to them, "I find no fault in him at all. But you have a custom that I should release someone to you at the Passover. Do you therefore want me to release to you the King of the Jews? Then they all cried again, saying, Not this man, but Barabbas. Now Barabbas was a robber. Well, okay, that is finished chapter 18 of the book of John, and we got, 3 more chapters to go, and that will be it. And then I'm planning on reading the book of Acts. If anyone wants to hear me read the book of Acts, you can do it. But I got this program running too because, I stutter and hum haw around and I can't half see, but I can do a lot of editing with this program over here, and I can do a better job recording audios on it. And I just wanted to practice. I may not use this again. I don't know. I just thought I think I'll use that while I'm recording chapter 18. But anyway, that's how I do my little intros. That's how I create my music with Emma and Riley, my granddaughters, and Bridget and Jessie, my daughters. And then I incorporate what we all do with my YouTube channel. And I'm trying to get them all together to do it. Let's do another Halloween video, but they don't seem to all have the same time. I have more time since I'm older, but they're busy, and one of these days we'll do a new Halloween video. But anyway, I appreciate you tuning in, and next time we'll read chapter 19.